Every stitch tells a secret. Every color hides a story. In Bridgerton Season 4, the costumes are more than just beautiful clothes. They are symbols of power, desire, and change. The designers didn't just dress the characters. They built an entire language through fabric, from the sparkle of a ballroom gown to the quiet strength in a tailored suit. Every outfit was designed to whisper something about the heart that wears it. Asterisk. The world of Bridgerton has always been about fantasy wrapped in elegance. But Season 4 brings a new kind of storytelling, one stitched not only with silk and lace, but with emotion and transformation. The costume designers began the season with a single question: how can fashion show a character's inner world? Their goal wasn't just to impress with grand designs, but to express how love, ambition, and heartbreak evolve through style. Behind the doors of the design studio, mood boards line the walls with shades of gold, violet, and icy blue. These colors weren't chosen by accident. Gold symbolized confidence and new beginnings. Violet represented mystery and change. Blue stood for emotional truth. The designers wanted every scene to feel like an extension of the characters' souls. When you see Penelope's gown shimmer in candlelight, or Colin's deep navy coat catch the glow of the ballroom, you're not just seeing fabric, you're seeing a reflection of who they are becoming. Season 4 also carries a stronger sense of contrast. The ton, once painted in soft pastels and floral embroidery, now pulses with richer tones and bolder shapes. The designers describe it as a world growing up. The innocent romanticism of the first seasons slowly fades into a more mature and passionate visual tone. Corsets are a little less restrictive, jewelry more meaningful, and fabrics heavier with symbolism. The Bridgertons still hold on to their signature lightness, but even they now wear a hint of shadow, a sign of emotional depth beneath their polished smiles, to bring this new vision to life. The team studied historical Regency fashion but refused to stay chained to it. They played with modern color palettes, added sparkle where history would never allow it, and designed pieces that balance tradition with fantasy. One designer explained, "We wanted the audience to believe in the time period but also dream beyond it." That's why a single dress might mix antique lace from the 1800s with custom-dyed silk made using new techniques. Every gown carries the past and present in perfect harmony. This vision extends beyond beauty. The designers wanted viewers to read the story through texture: rough linen for struggle, velvet for hidden desire, chiffon for freedom. By doing this, they turned costume design into emotional storytelling. So when Penelope steps into the ballroom wearing her first bold color, or Colin straightens his darker coat, we can feel the shift in their hearts before a single word is spoken. Season 4. Bridgerton isn't just a visual upgrade. It's an emotional one. The designers built a world where love, heartbreak, and self-discovery live not just in dialogue, but in every hemline, ribbon, and jewel. It's not just fashion. It's feeling sewn into every thread. Asterisk, a single gown can change everything. For Penelope Featherington, fashion isn't just fabric, it's freedom. In Bridgerton Season 4, her transformation begins the moment she stops hiding behind pale yellows and timid smiles. The girl once dismissed as the wallflower of the ton finally blooms, and her wardrobe tells that story better than any words ever could. For the costume designers, Penelope's new look became the emotional center of the entire season. Her wardrobe was built like a love letter to self-discovery, every color, every jewel, every stitch revealing a woman stepping into her own power. Gone are the sugary citrus tones that once marked her as the odd one out in her family. Instead, deep sapphire blues, soft golds, and regal greens take their place. These colors weren't chosen for beauty alone. Blue represents truth, the courage to be seen for who you are. Gold symbolizes her growing confidence, her willingness to shine. And green, a subtle nod to growth and rebirth, captures her emotional evolution from insecurity to independence. The designers describe Penelope's journey through fashion as a silent revolution. Earlier dresses were meant to blend in, padded with frills and lace that overwhelmed her frame. But this season, her silhouettes change. The fabric drapes softer around her shoulders, the cuts become sleeker, more confident. Her dresses now hold space, not to please others, but to express herself. The team even reworked the structure of her corsets, loosening the fit slightly to symbolize emotional freedom. It's a small detail invisible to most, but crucial to telling her story. Her first major gown of the season, shimmering blue with golden embroidery, becomes a statement. It's not loud, but commanding. The sparkle catches the light just enough to turn heads without begging for attention. The designers said they wanted Penelope to look like she finally sees herself. And that's exactly what happens. Her new fashion identity mirrors the moment she begins to reclaim her power as Lady Whistledown. No longer ashamed of her secrets, but owning them. Even her accessories carry hidden meaning. Her jewelry shifts from large, heavy pieces once chosen by her mother to impress two smaller, more personal touches. A simple locket, a single gold bracelet. These pieces are tokens of individuality, not status. Her hairstyles, too, become looser and more natural. Curls fall gently instead of being pulled tight. It's as if Penelope is breathing freely for the first time. And her reflection finally agrees. This evolution isn't just about fashion, it's about liberation. The designers said their goal was to let viewers feel the courage of a woman choosing herself. Through Penelope's changing wardrobe, we see the emotional heartbeat of Bridgerton Season 4. The story of a woman who has stopped trying to blend into the background. And when she walks into the ballroom this time, heads don't turn because she's changed her dress. They turn because she's changed her destiny. Asterisk, every season of Bridgerton has shown Colin as the charming brother, kind, gentle, and full of dreams. But in Season 4, that soft boyish charm is replaced by something deeper, more grounded. His transformation isn't announced with grand speeches or dramatic gestures. It's revealed in silence, in the way his clothes now carry weight, structure, and quiet authority. This isn't the same Colin who once drifted through London's gossip circles. This is a man who has lived, traveled, and returned home with confidence stitched into every seam. The designers called his look this season masculine maturity. His wardrobe speaks before he does. Coats darker, fabrics heavier, and tailoring sharper than ever before. Gone are the pastel vests and cream-colored cravats that once made him blend into the background. Now, deep navy, forest green, and subtle charcoal dominate his palette. Each tone symbolizes a different part of his evolution. Navy reflects self-control and purpose. Green, renewal and hidden vulnerability. Charcoal, the quiet strength of someone who's finally sure of his path. Together, they paint the portrait of a man who has found himself not through words, but through presence. One of the key changes the design team made was in silhouette. Colin's new coats are longer, his waistcoats more fitted, his collars higher. Every detail elongates his frame and emphasizes his maturity. The costume designers said they wanted him to look like a man who stopped running and started leading. His physical change mirrors his emotional arc, no longer chasing adventure, but standing still and choosing what truly matters. When he walks into a scene beside Penelope, the contrast between his dark elegance and her new radiant glow is intentional. It's visual storytelling to people meeting as equals for the first time. His travel-inspired outfits also tell a story of growth. The slightly weathered textures, the worn leather gloves, and the subtle earth tones show a man shaped by experience. He's still Colin Bridgerton, but he's seen the world and carries that with him. The costume department described his new style as a mix of English refinement and worldly confidence. You can see it in the way he buttons his jacket, in the quiet steadiness of his stance. Nothing about his look screams for attention, but it doesn't need to. Even the small accessories hold meaning. His rings, once simple, now carry darker stones, representing lessons learned and emotions buried. The fabrics used for his shirts have a matte finish, removing the youthful sheen he once wore so easily. Everything about Colin's Season 4 wardrobe whispers control, depth, and a touch of mystery. And yet, beneath all that refinement, there's still warmth. His designers didn't want to erase his charm. They wanted to redefine it. Colin's transformation shows us that masculinity in Bridgerton isn't about dominance or power. It's about self-assurance. Through his clothing, we see a man who has learned to balance strength with empathy and ambition with heart. His wardrobe doesn't just mark his maturity. It marks his readiness for love. And when Colin finally meets Penelope's gaze this season, his dark suit doesn't just reflect style. It reflects a promise. A promise that he's finally the man worthy of seeing her, truly seeing her for who she's become. Color has always been the silent language of Bridgerton. Long before a word is spoken, it tells us who holds the power, who hides a secret, and who dares to love. In Season 4, that language changes. The Bridgertons, once wrapped in soft blues and dreamy pastels, now wear shades that speak of transformation, wisdom, and quiet strength. The designers call it the evolution of elegance. It's not just a new palette, it's a reflection of a family growing up in a world that's becoming more complex, more daring, and far more emotional. From the very beginning, the Bridgertons were defined by serenity. Their pale blues, silvers, and whites stood as symbols of calm and purity. But this season, those same colors deepen. The blues become richer, almost royal. The whites turn warmer, touched with pearl and champagne undertones. Even the silver threads glimmer darker under candlelight, hinting at a more layered sense of emotion beneath their graceful exterior. The family's wardrobe no longer exists to make them appear perfect. It exists to show that even the most elegant hearts carry shadows. Daphne's legacy remains present in the family's softer hues. But the younger Bridgertons bring something new. Francesca's style introduces muted greens and mauves, gentle, mysterious tones that suggest depth and longing. Benedict leans into deeper plum shades, representing creativity and quiet rebellion. Anthony and Kate, now more settled, embody maturity through structured tailoring and deeper navy fabrics, creating a sense of balance and authority. Each member contributes a brushstroke to this evolving color story, one that blends tradition with individuality. To achieve this transformation, the designers played with layers of tone and texture. They began hand-dyeing fabrics to create a more lived-in look, something that felt both rich and real. In earlier seasons, Bridgerton fabrics almost glowed with perfection. Silk so smooth it felt untouched by the world. But now, slight imperfections are celebrated. A touch of linen in the silk, a rougher weave in the lace. These subtle changes make the costumes feel human, lived in, loved in, and weathered by time. It's a visual metaphor for how the Bridgertons themselves have changed. No longer idealized, but authentic. One of the most beautiful examples of this shift appears in the ballroom scenes. The family's coordinated looks, once almost matching in pastel tones, now show subtle individuality. Violet Bridgerton, the matriarch, wears deeper lilac, a nod to her grace and quiet wisdom. Hyacinth's gowns sparkle with youthful energy, vibrant but still grounded in the family's iconic palette. Even the men's waistcoats, once soft and gentle, now feature hints of metallic embroidery that catch the light like fleeting emotion. This evolution also carries a deeper symbolism. In Bridgerton, fashion is not just surface, it mirrors the family's inner world. Their once unblemished image has been tested by heartbreak, scandal, and self-discovery. Yet through it all, they remain unified. Their palette, though darker, never loses its warmth. It's as if their colors matured along with them, proof that elegance doesn't fade when challenged. It deepens by the end of the season. When the Bridgertons gather for their final ball, the shift is clear. The room glows not with pastel innocence, but with emotional depth. Shimmering blues, gentle purples, and golden accents woven into every design. The audience may not consciously notice the difference, but they feel it. The Bridgertons no longer stand as symbols of perfection, but of resilience. Their clothes don't just dazzle, they breathe, carrying the weight of everything they've lived through. And that is the true art of Season 4's design, turning fashion into emotion and color into storytelling. A new season in Bridgerton means new faces, and with them, new threats to the ton's delicate balance of love and reputation. But before a newcomer even speaks, their wardrobe does the talking. In Season 4, the costume designers created each debutante, rival, and rogue with colors and textures that instantly reveal their intentions. These aren't just pretty gowns and fine coats. They're weapons, masks, and declarations of power stitched into fabric. Every new entrant arrives not simply to impress, but to disrupt. The moment they step into the ballroom, the atmosphere shifts. Gone are the pastel introductions of past seasons. Now bold colors cut through the glittering crowd like sparks in the dark. The designers describe this as a visual intrusion, a deliberate shock to the eye that tells the audience, these people don't belong to the old order. A mysterious duchess wrapped in emerald satin. A wealthy merchant's daughter wearing deep scarlet. A foreign lord in embroidered black velvet. Each costume marks a story waiting to unfold. These shades aren't chosen for beauty. They're chosen for danger. Green whispers envy and ambition. Red screams temptation and defiance. Black, the color of power, announces control without apology. But the real genius lies in the details. The costume team used fabric texture to show social tension. Silk for those born into luxury. Velvet for those trying to prove it. Linen and metallic thread for outsiders who bring change. Even stitching patterns tell stories, tighter seams for characters who hide secrets. Flowing drapes for those who live freely and unafraid. These quiet choices make every glance in the ballroom a power play. Viewers might not consciously see it, but they feel it, that someone new has entered the scene. And the rules are about to change. One striking example is the season's rumored new female lead. A woman whose wardrobe walks the line between elegance and rebellion. Her gowns shimmer with restrained extravagance, the kind of beauty that invites admiration but demands respect. In early episodes, she wears structured bodices with angular embroidery, suggesting self-control. But as her influence grows, the lines soften. The fabrics flow, a reflection of someone learning to navigate emotion in a world built on performance. The designers said they wanted her wardrobe to command the room without asking for permission. And that's exactly what it does. Male newcomers are no less captivating. Instead of polished perfection, their clothing carries hints of shadow and history. Coats with worn leather edges, buttons tarnished with age, dark embroidery that glints under candlelight. Each one stands as a reminder that the world beyond London is vast, filled with people who don't play by the ton's rules. Through costume, they bring mystery and unpredictability into every scene. By the time these newcomers fully weave into the Bridgerton narrative, their presence has transformed the visual rhythm of the show. The once soft world of pastel harmony now pulses with tension and contrast. Every color clash in the ballroom, every unexpected shade, tells us that Season 4 isn't about comfort, it's about collision. The designers have said this was their goal all along, to let the new characters disturb the beauty. And disturb it, they do. These new entrants don't just wear fashion, they use it. Their gowns whisper secrets. Their suits conceal motives. And through every shimmering thread, the ton feels a tremor, a warning that in Bridgerton Season 4, beauty has teeth. Bridgerton has always been more than a period drama. It's a visual love letter to imagination. But by the time Season 4 draws to a close, its costumes have become something even greater. A living record of emotion, ambition, and evolution. Every gown, every glove, every polished shoe has carried a story forward, blending history and heart into something timeless. The legacy of Bridgerton's style isn't just about beauty. It's about how beauty can tell the truth softly, powerfully, and forever. In this season, the costume designers didn't just recreate the Regency era. They reinvented it. Their vision turned fashion into a mirror, showing us who these characters truly are beneath their titles and expectations. The romantic silks, the disciplined tailoring, the daring flashes of modern color. All of it comes together like a symphony of identity. Each outfit becomes a heartbeat, perfectly timed with the emotions on screen. It's no wonder that Bridgerton's fashion has transcended the show itself, inspiring real-world designers, stylists, and fans across the globe, from runway collections to online recreations. People aren't just watching the show, they're wearing its spirit. The team behind the scenes said their goal was simple: to make the audience feel. To let color and cloth carry what words cannot. A crushed velvet coat that hides heartbreak. A jeweled gown that reveals courage. A soft pastel that forgives. These are the languages of Bridgerton. And by season 4, they've evolved into something intimate and cinematic. The characters no longer wear costumes, they wear their journeys. Every fold of fabric, every sparkle of light tells us who they were, who they are, and who they might become. And yet, beneath all the splendor and shimmer, there's a quiet truth. The costumes of Bridgerton remind us that beauty and strength can exist side by side, that elegance can carry rebellion, that love, in all its messy, glorious forms, can be sewn into silk and lace and still feel real. Season 4 captures that perfectly, a story where style is not just seen, but felt as the final dance fades and the camera pulls back from the candlelit ballroom. The audience is left with more than just admiration. They're left with wonder, because Bridgerton's true magic lies not in the perfection of its costumes, but in the emotion they hold, proof that sometimes the most powerful stories aren't spoken at all. They're worn.